Yo, I'm here. I'm back again. Let me take a sip. All right. So yeah, hi. Uh, I'm here again. Once again, you know what I mean? I streamed earlier. If you didn't check it out, go now. But yeah, it's time for the Legend of Sir Brante. That's not what it's called. It's called the Life and Suffering of Sir Brante, but we're legends here, so we call it the Legend of fucking Sir Brante. My stream, I make the rules, even the game's title, all mine, to fuck with as I please. But yeah, hi. Let me just bring this a little closer to my face so that I can provide an ample streaming atmosphere for reading and relaxation. That's me. Reading and relaxation. That's my middle name. Let me switch over. Hi. I swear. Okay, I was gonna say I swear it was on screen a couple seconds ago. If I remember correctly, we are on Getting Even. I don't know what this is. Of course you will help. Huh? I mean, okay. I'm trying to glean the context from this. Let me just. All right. Of course you will help Sophia with this, but she is doing herself a disservice by keeping her friends in the dark. Before you go through with this, you would like her to explain it all to you. Oh yeah, she had a plan, and she was leaving out a ton of fucking details and really acting really shady. And we definitely said that we will help, but you gotta run it down for me. And so she will. Now, Sophia's eyes narrow as she studies you, pondering your words. You remain quiet, giving her time, trying to breathe as quietly as you can. Over a minute passes before Sophia speaks again. Okay, Alex, I trust you, so I'll level with you. But if you betray my trust, it'll just about kill me, okay? I'm tired. I've been a pawn all my life, an Archnean's maidservant, a witch with no will of her own, stuck in prison. A toy in Philippe's hands. A tiny insect in the divine design. Give me a moment. Let me just make sure that the audio is balanced. Sorry. Alright. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being a thing. I'm sick of having owners. I'm sick of following orders. I'm sick of being used for someone else's gold. Well, I'm done. You got that? I'm done. We're doomed, you and me. You're not deluding yourself on that account, are you? Felipe's gonna see us hanged, just like he did the Lotless in Eterna. We'll stay alive as long as we're useful. No amount of loyalty to the secret chancery can save us. But when he finally decides to get rid of us, I'll be ready. And Dorius Autumn, you know? He's the worst Archneum of them all. I was his maidservant for years. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Ever. Worse than the House of Humility. Way worse than now. And now Autumn is scheming to betray Gaius Tempest. Just one of his many plots, business as usual. And the thing is, he's never had to pay the price for his own schemes. Other people did. Kids who lost their homes, who had to slave away for scraps, and their fathers hanging themselves from despair. Sophia's voice trails off. She rummages around in her pocket, stuffs a hearty pinch of tobacco into her pipe, and puffs out a cloud of yellowish smoke. Then she continues, her voice a calm, lifeless monotone. And now I have a chance to end it all. If it means putting my life on the line, so be it. Because we're doomed, see? The moment I realized that, I became free. If I can make this world better, I'm gonna try. And I'll keep on trying until I drop. And you're with me, Alex. That means a lot. For the next 10 days, you watch Autumn's house, memorizing the guard's schedule, studying the layout of the mansion, planning escape routes, until finally you have the opportunity to act. When night falls, the two of you go there together. There's a carriage at gate. It looks all too familiar. Is there a guest at Autumn's mansion? Who cares? There's no turning back now. There's no time. Climb over the tall stone wall and disappear into the dark garden. The sprawling shrubbery conceals you. Here, perfect timing. A few seconds later, two night watchmen turn the corner about to walk past. Sophia's eyes flare with burning yellow light. The guards fall into a deep sleep and collapse on the spot. You drag them into the shadows. Once you have their keys, your dagger finishes them both off. The bodies dissipate. Two lesser deaths. Once inside and in the mansion kitchen, you prick up your ears. You hear footsteps and the muffled voices of Autumn and his late-night guest. They are too far away for you to recognize a single word, but their voices are coming from the sitting room. This is promising. You need to make your way to Autumn's study on the second floor. You sneak to the stairs, shrouded in total darkness. The voices are clearer now. You're trying too hard to please both the Overseer and the Archduke, Magistrate. You ought to stop that before you lose your seat to someone else. Unless you side with the right people, that is. Sir Autumn, I wholeheartedly share the Archduke's anger. But a revolt, the city will suffer immensely. So you're just a coward then. human. You've wasted enough time on this. You sneak to the upper floor and conceal yourself in Otten's study. So it's all true. Otten's in this thing up to his eyeballs. We're almost out of time. Alex, look for papers. Anything with the Milanitis seal on it. We're gonna put the screws to this prick. The two of you hurriedly rummage around in bookshelves, drawers, and cabinets. Any note or letter you find that seems even remotely useful, you stuff in a bag. The floorboards creak. The footsteps grow louder, closer. The window. Glass shatters. Sophia jumps through the window frame. The door behind you slams open. Otten dashes into the room with inhuman speed. He grabs the sword from the wall and rushes at you. Out of options, you leap outside just as cold steel slices through the skin on your back. But you are already falling. Sophia helps you to your feet. Don't let them get away! The High Commander's order is futile. No one knows the streets and alleyways of Anazote better than you and Sophia. Several hours later, you finally reach the door of the print shop. Take your shirt off. I need to watch that wound of yours. You got lucky. Real lucky. He almost had you. What now? What will she do next? Oh, I'll send the overseer a little gift. I'm sure you and I will hear about Otten real soon. 3 days later, the papers find their way to Gaius Tempest. He issues an order to relieve Otten of his duties as the High Commander of Magra. Soon after that, the disgraced Archnean departs for Castle Serpenverda, the citadel of his master, Archduke Milanitis. The fateful night has left you with a treasure trove of dangerous information, enough to tarnish the reputations of many of the nobles complicit in the plot. You wisely keep the intelligence to yourself for now. It just might come in handy one day. Alright, that's a recap, because I already read all of that last stream. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I already read all of that last stream. Alright. Today I have tea with me, so I'm hoping that that will be better than just slurping down water, because I assume that that's how it's supposed to work. Dishonored still. Spy Network is back to a healthy middle ground. What have we? Rumors are running wild in Anazote. People say that a mysterious clandestine society called the Last Straw holds the entirety of the city's seedy underbelly in its clutches, with men and safe houses all over Anazote plotting and scheming against the nobles and the rulers of the province. Their leader is a woman, a ruthless criminal by the name of Sophia. She has evaded all attempts at capture. The common people both fear the Last Straw and sympathize with their cause. If the rumors are true, the city finally has someone who will stop at nothing to help the people claim their rights. But who would support this secret organization? And how did the insurgents manage to survive this long? No one in the city knows the answers. Magistrate El Verman must assuage the people's fears once again. The vile mutineers and heretics who call themselves the Last Straw will be caught and executed very soon, and anyone who has given them money and shelter will meet the same fate. The secret chancellery will make sure of that. Yeah, the secret chancellery will. Yup, sounds about right. But even facing a manhunt, the Last Straw still endures. Slowly but surely, the influence of this underground organization is spreading throughout the city. And so Order decreases and the wealth of Magra is... Oh, it's going down. Jesus. But power. Power is going up, tipping in the favor of the commoners. Night falls upon the city, shrouding it in darkness and dotting the sky with stars. The din of the streets died down slowly. Soon the heavy footfalls of gendarme patrols is the only sound. You are at the print shop, tying up the day's loose ends. There's a sudden knock on the door. Sophia walks in without a word, holding a half-empty bag. She heads to the room containing the shop's records. Somewhere in there, under piles of paperwork, is a crate with her things in it. Sophia pushes the papers aside and starts shoving her things into the bag. She barely looks at what she's doing. What is going on? She freezes as though noticing you for the first time. Then she pulls up a chair, sits down, and lights her pipe. I was with Felipe just now. I'm leaving. For a long time. Could be a whole year. Gotta recruit pissed off people for the last straw from all over Magra. He thinks we've already found everybody here in Anazote. Is she going alone? Sophia nods, exhaling smoke. Yep. Felipe's orders. Says it's safer that way. He needs you here. Her eyes are trained on you. You notice yellow light glimmering deep within them. Even without the underground movement, Sophia is just as dangerous on her own. And Felipe actually thinks she's gonna recruit hundreds more people to die for his scheme? Sophia puffs out ring after ring. They slowly dissolve in the air, filling the room with acrid smoke. There is no hiding from her light blue eyes. A gentle smile plays on her lips. Just don't botch the whole thing while I'm gone, okay, Brante? You nod. An awkward silence follows. Deep inside Sophia's pipe, a red spark flares back to life again. You knew she would be at the print shop alone tonight. Did she really come here just to tell you that? She does not look away. Okay. Well, here we go. Wish for a safe journey. Willpower will go up, but Sophia's relationship will go down. When I'm wishing her a safe journey? The fuck? Swear to remain loyal no matter what. Okay. Okay, wait, hold on. You wish her a safe journey and good luck finding new people for the cause. I swear to remain loyal to her no matter what. You belong to Sophia. You swear to remain loyal to her until the very end. It's while she's embittered, so unfortunately, you don't have to worry about that. Promise to protect her. You tell her that if she ever needs any help or protection, you will be there. Sophia is merciless. Well, requires Sophia to be merciless. Looks like all of these... Never mind. Not all of them give me willpower. Tell her how you feel. You confess the strong feelings you've had for her ever since you were children. Willpower +5. But I would need her to be merciless. She isn't. Or you can confess your love for her. You profess your love for her and ask her if she feels the same. I mean, I don't want to wish her a safe journey. It's either between promise to protect her and or confess your love for her. One of them makes it so that Sophia has grown close. I mean, shit, may as well, right? I'm sure that Verk would Verk would condone this answer greatly. Her one weakness achievement unlocked. You take a moment to think and sit next to Sophia. After another pause, you finally speak your mind. You've had this feeling ever since you were a child. You've tried to fight it, tried to ignore it, but it was all in vain. And now there is no reason to hide it anymore. You remember every moment you spent together, the games you used to play, her escape from the city, the chance encounter in Eterna. You've both experienced plenty of misfortune in your lives, but you're still happy because you've always been together. And then you say it, I love you. I will always be there for you. I will keep you safe from the rest of the world. There's nothing I will not do for you. That's like all of the choices combined right there. Sophia freezes, as though she had forgotten how to breathe. She interrupts you in a hushed whisper. Why are you... This can't be happening. This isn't real. It's never real. Nobody stays. Everybody leaves one way or another. I'm leaving right now. And then you'll leave me too. You get down on your knees before Sophia and kiss her tobacco-stained fingers. You embrace her with great care, holding her close, stroking her hair. No, you will never leave her. Not ever. Her back grows stiff. But then, Sophia's shoulders begin to shake. She's crying. Crying. You never thought it possible. You wipe the tears from her eyes. She holds your face in her hands and kisses you on the lips. There's nothing to say. She feels exactly the same. You cannot stop. You do not want to stop. Your head swimming in a blissful daze, your mind all but gone, dissolved in those kisses. The warm caress so gentle, the whispers so soft and sweet, the beating of your heart, the sound of discarded clothing falling to the floor. Well, I guess he gets his happy ending. That's good. Sip. Let's say happy ending, but, well, it really could be anything from this point on. She's so vulnerable, so amazingly, impossibly defenseless. You never thought she would open herself to you like this, and yet here she is, right by your side, smiling and crying, laughing and kissing, touching and caressing, looking at you so tenderly, all at once. The night lasts an eternity. You are with her. She is yours. The sun rises. She has to leave. You can barely force yourself to let her go. Your kisses follow her to the doorstep. You promise to wait for her. You swear to remain by her side until the very end. Just before the door shuts, Sophia gives you a sheath containing a misericord. A misericord? A misericord. A long, slender dagger. Here, it's for you. Maybe it gives you strength. May it give you strength. You can do anything. I know it. It's just the way it is. That was amazing, Alex. The memory of our night together is the most precious thing I'm bringing with me. It'll tide me over until I come back to you. Take care, and don't be afraid of nothing. Our cause is just. She gives you a long, slow kiss, then leaves at last. The door closes quietly behind her. The last straw is on your shoulders now, but you are no longer alone. You have become the closest person to Sophia. Oh man. So So Bronte has gotten himself a significant other. An affair with Sophia. You have become the closest person to Sophia. The unrest in Magra is growing by the day. More and more commoners flock to the streets and squares, trying to make their voices heard by the nobility. The crowds have become too large for the gendarmes to disperse. They can no longer be ignored. Oh, sorry. Give me hiccups, I think. Give me a sec while I get rid of them. Yeah. Sorry about that. Give me a moment, actually. Alright. For the first time in years, the ruling estate seems to have seen the people for the terrifying power they represent, and they have decided to fight fire with fire. In spite of all the resistance offered by Prefect Elborn and the Lesser Quorum, the magistrate and the aristocracy finally get their way. Overseer Tempest deploys troops to the city. The streets and squares are packed on this ill-fated day. Hidden in the crowds, you watch 2 battalions of the Imperial Legion march triumphantly down the streets of Anazote. The banners of Magra and the Tempest Dynasty soar proudly over the shoulders of soldiers' heads. Gaius Tempest leads the battalions himself atop a white Monian stallion. To his right, you see the young captain of the battalion. He looks familiar. It is Thomas Guerrero. When the procession reaches the Golden Square, it stops so the overseer can address the people. Battalions, defense formation. The Legion soldiers spring into action, slamming their weapons against their shields as they move. The ranks shift in eerie harmony down to the last man, like an enormous, uncanny machine. And then they all stop at once in an instant. The square grows silent. The overseer's booming voice echoes for all to hear. People of Anazote, I have heard your cry for help and come to this city accompanied by my loyal soldiers. The Imperial Legion will bring order to Anazote and put an end to all riots and crime. These soldiers will protect you from the schemes of rebellious nobles, insidious insurgents, and anyone who seeks to spark unrest. I am Gaius Tempest, the overseer of Magra and Anazote. By the Emperor's decree, I rule this land. Those who question my rule question the Emperor's rule as well, and they will be executed as rebels and insurrectionists. Oh god, can you shut the fuck up? You hear whispers throughout the square. The Legion's arrival is a harbinger of change. But how drastic will this change be? Even at home, the Legion is the only topic of conversation during dinner. Thank the twins Gaius Tempest has finally decided to act. Those lowborn scum have grown far too insolent of late. They ought to be reminded of their place with an iron fist. Intimidating the people won't do anyone any good, Stefan. They have valid reasons to take to the streets. But instead of hearing them out, the overseer is hiding behind his soldiers. It's disgusting. I think Gloria's right. Everyone's really scared. A lot of my friends want the Legion to leave the city too. Those friends of yours know nothing, Nathan. Their lot is to work and suffer, not wag their tongues. Oh, we're so sorry, Sir Stephen. Stefan. We forgot that only blue bloods can rule. Too bad that inbreeding hasn't made them any smarter. Enough bickering, you two. You clearly don't understand what's going on here. The purpose of the Overseer's move is, first and foremost, to thwart the plan against him set in motion by Archduke Milanidas' loyal clique of nobles. The commoners are a secondary matter. By the way, Alex, I've heard the battalion is being led by an old schoolmate of yours. He hasn't told you anything about what Gaius Tempest is up to, has he? You have not seen Thomas in a long time. He has not told you anything. Hold on one sec. Let me just get comfortable. There we go. That's too bad. Oh well. I suppose time will tell. Whatever the reason, the Legion is here in Anazote, and it is a force that must be reckoned with. And as luck would have it, Thomas is in command of it. Is there any way for you to turn the situation to the last straw's advantage? So, we can use Thomas. Let's just say Thomas for now. I can only do it because oh, I see. Okay, alright, let's read from the top. Use Thomas. Condition? Bond of Destiny. You ask him to violate his order and let the people protest despite the risk of incurring the Overseer's wrath. Power will go up in the province. Unrest will also rise. Spy network will crumble and reputation will drop. Thomas will be exiled. Convince Thomas to cooperate, assuming that you haven't severed all ties with him. Order will rise, unrest will fall, and the spy network will rise. Family unity will fall, and you will die a lesser death. Incite the common people to riot against them. You start printing leaflets condemning the presence of Gaius Tempest and the Legion in the city. Order will fall, unrest will rise, and the spy network will fall. But you will gain some eloquence. Or we could denounce the rebellious nobles to Thomas. You give Thomas the names of the nobles plotting against the Overseer in exchange for his assistance. Huh. Hey, this is the best option, really. And this is assuming that Dorius is dishonored. I mean, it seems like the best option. I'm sorry. Shut up. Alright. Okay. No. I don't know. I have no idea. What do we do? This is the best outcome because it keeps the unrest at a level peg, and family reputation will rise. So I don't know. Do we get him exiled for no particular reason? This one is just a bad idea. And it is deciding the common people to riot against them. I don't know. This one was just kind of like the throwaway. Okay. I mean, I have the bond of friendship. But then he'll get like, to be honest, it's really not that good. It would just be better to denounce the rebellious nobles to Thomas. I don't know, actually. I would argue that, you know what? Sure, I'll just do this one. Denounce the rebellious nobles. It's just for stats, trust. This is how I truly feel or something stupid like that. Yeah. Wait, 1 sec, let me just ugh. My eyes. Okay. You and Thomas have known each other ever since you were boys. You used to play on these very streets, pretending to be heroes of old, fighting the great battles of the past. Now Thomas commands a legion. The Legion soldiers, sent to Anazote to squash the unrest. And you command the last straw and have spent several years preparing the city for a full-scale revolt. There it is, the ruins of Char Milanides' palace. The remains of your childhood fort still stand among the crumbling stonework. You wait for Thomas. He arrives alone, without any soldiers to guard him. He wears a suit of armor and the vibrant cloak of a commanding officer, a sword by his side. His shoulders have grown even broader and he treads firmly. You spot a few early gray threads in his hair. Hello, Alex. Good to see you. You shake the old friend's hand and congratulate him on his promotion. Oh, it's nothing. That was a good idea meeting here like this. And look, there's our old fort. Can you believe it's still there after all these years? Feels like a dream whenever I'm back in Anazote. So much has happened. I've become a nobleman, joined the Legion, got promoted to captain. But everything here is still just as it was. Even those old wooden planks we lugged all the way here are still standing. You interrupt Thomas's reminiscence. This is no time for nostalgia. You have something important to discuss. Thomas's face grows serious. I'm listening, Alex. This is not about you, you explain. It's about Thomas himself. He's been gone from Anazote for so long, he may have trouble understanding the state of contemporary noble society. There's something he needs to know. You show your friend a stack of notes and letters stolen from Otten's mansion. Surely, Thomas has heard about the nobles plotting a revolt against Overseer in the name of Archduke Milanides. Yeah, I've heard about that. The treasonous The treasonous horse son. Otten was caught red-handed. The overseer got some of his letters, but none of them ever implicated other nobles. Thomas considers the letters a moment and points at them and turns to you. Is this what I think it is? So, it was you. You were the one who exposed Otten. Exactly, you reply. And these documents are enough to implicate the rest of the traitors. Alright, Brante. I gotta admit, I'm surprised. Although I guess ought to thank you for what you did to Otten. You have no idea how much easier my life got when he finally fled Magra. The Overseer really is worried about those rebellious nobles. If you have their names, please give them to me. Save the city from bloodshed. But where did you get these papers? That is a question he should not have asked. Still, you answer him truthfully. You served the Empire as an agent of the Secret Chancellery. Your friend falls silent for a moment, clearly stunned by the news. Well, Brante. Very well. What do you want for these papers? What you want is to have a few of those scheming nobles disappear on the way to the dungeons. Surely Thomas understands that this is in everyone's best interest. Your friend hesitates for a moment, then finally makes up his mind. Alright, Alex, if you say so. Life sure is strange, don't you think? I mean, Who could have guessed this is where the twins would take you? You and Thomas shakes hands, embrace and part ways. Your friendship began right here, all those years ago. Will you ever see each other again? Well, will you? Over the course of the next week, the nobles you reported to Thomas leave Anazote one by one. Some are taken away in chains, arrested for planning a revolt. Others manage to escape on their own and take shelter in Archduke Milanidas' castle. Okay, seems it's time for stronger stuff. Alright. Still, others find themselves imprisoned in the last straw subterranean hideouts. You order Oliver to beat every last drop of information about the Archduke's plans out of them, then eliminate them. The nobler they are, the louder they scream. They're a right delicate bunch, boss. Gotta find me a cell with thick walls. Having dealt with the noble plot in Anazote, the battalions leave the city and return to Castle Eneri. The people have seen the Legion in action. They will be far more reluctant to take to the streets and make demands now. For a time, Anazote enjoys a shaky, unsteady semblance of peace and quiet. And up we go. The usual suspects. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Conditions met. Philippe Alfaro did not see your loyalty. Okay. Okay. Felipe has chosen an unusual meeting place tonight. Anazote's ancient marble bathhouse is a place only nobles are allowed to enter. But tonight, in accordance with the advisor's will, its doors are open to you. The hell? What are we doing? The staff treats you with the subservience. With the subservience typically reserved for real noblemen. You are shown to a magnificent hall with a ceiling supported by century-old columns and left alone. The reflections of hundreds of candle flames dance across the walls and the water in the marble pool. You notice a bowl of candied fruit and a bottle of wine. There are no other patrons. What the fuck was that? This is most likely the only time you will ever see the inside of the bathhouse. Felipe rarely uses the same meeting place twice. After all, after a while you muster enough courage to enter the water. It's very warm. You lie on your back and float. Your body relaxes and a pleasant feeling of drowsiness creeps over you. You're startled by echoing footsteps and the percussive thudding of a cane. Felipe is approaching. Several burly men led by Oliver Moss follow behind him. You get out of the water and reach for your clothes, but Moss steps onto your garments, preventing you from covering yourself. Oh shit. Hello there, Brante. Felipe's men surround you. The advisor taps the floor with his cane. Sound echoes off the marble walls. Droplets of water from your wet hair run down your back, causing you to shiver. Are you really naive enough to think you could conceal your betrayal from me, Brante? I'm the advisor of the secret chancellery. I know all about the deals you made behind my back. But I'll give you one last chance to save yourself. Confess your betrayal. Maybe, just maybe, I won't drown you in this pool like a runt. Yeah. So sorry, but nah. The hell? Alright, so I can't. So, prove your loyalty. Destiny Sophia does not have the gunpowder. I guess this is the ending where I give him the gunpowder, huh? Meyer Eggman does not have a secret plot, and Remy L. Vermont made a deal. Not a thing. Okay, betray L. Vermont. I would have to have made a deal with L. Vermont. Betray Eggman. Unrest will fall. Willpower will fall. Meyer Eggman will be in jeopardy, and Felipe Alfaro will reach a grand total of -4. Betray Sophia. Unrest will fall. Willpower will fall. Sophia will feel betrayed. Her relationship will decrease by 2, and Felipe Alfaro will decrease by a grand total of -4. Assuming that Sophia has the gunpowder, which she does. Or you can deny your guilt as long as your manipulation is up to par. You make a clever lie to throw off suspicion. Willpower will fall. Jesus, it'll fall. Oh yeah, hell yeah, it'll fall. I mean, definitely not gonna fall on me. Get the fuck out of here. Deny your guilt. I didn't do anything wrong. You need to remain calm. Felipe does not know anything for sure. He's just fishing. The advisor is a hard man to deceive, but you have learned a lot over the years. Looking Felipe straight in the eye, you tell him that this test makes no sense. None of the enemies could possibly have counted on your help, not even for a second. You have made no deals. You have conspired with no one. You have not betrayed Sir Advisor. Oh. You are loyal to him and him alone. Felipe gazes at you for a moment, then snaps his finger. Moss lifts his foot from your clothes. His men move aside a bit. Fine, Brante. You passed the test. But loyalty is admirable. Okay. Alright. I'm sorry, but we are reaching we're reaching the point that I really, really don't want to have happen. But don't worry, I have a master plan. Alright. A master plan for staying up this late at night. I have much going on, trust. Okay? Your loyalty is admirable. I need a man in Magra I can trust. You must stay here until midnight. Loyalty deserves to be rewarded. You may stay here until midnight. They leave. You sit down right on the marble floor, trying to calm your pounding heart. Just a little bit longer, and you would have involuntarily given yourself away. Imagining your limp body floating in the pool, you feel no desire to stay. You wait a little while, then go home. Woof. It has fallen greatly. It is late. You're preparing to go home when a priest with a long staff walks into the print shop. You recognize him immediately. He's the abbot of the Temple of the Silver Tree, the face of the new faith in Anazote, Father Lenart. I must apologize for visiting you at so late an hour. Still, I am glad you are here, Alex. I'm Father Leonard. You may have been a s- you may have been to a sermon of mine, but I do not believe we have ever spoken in person. I've come to you regarding a rather delicate matter, but I have been made aware that your print shop often deals in matters such as these. I believe you know that Cassius, Magra's current patriarch, has not recognized the new faith. Our numbers are great, but the patriarch thinks we are just another heretical sect. My teacher, Patriarch Photis, was betrayed and murdered before he could have his doctrine recognized. The light of the new faith struck fear into the heart of his enemies. But I am determined to make sure Photis's teachings get the same recognition and respect in Magra as the teachings of Isatius. 1 month from today is an important day for the new faith, the anniversary of Patriarch Photis's murder. I wish to gather my flock at a place of his true death to address Patriarch Cassius and demand recognition for our faith. If several thousand new believers gather in the city, the Patriarch will have no choice but to heed our call. But in order to bring all these people to Anazote, I need your help, Brante. I know you can only print my appeal, but also I know you can not only print my appeal, but also distribute it throughout the province. In the city of Anazote, the new believers stand firmly united, but our brethren are isolated from one another for the rest of the province, and I have no way of reaching them through the temples. The Inquisition and the priests of the old faith will never let my summons spread throughout Magra. But you can achieve what I cannot. I have written my appeal down for you. Please print it and see that my summons spread to every corner of Magra. I want every Magra new believer to realize that now is the time to stand up for our doctrine. I will summon them to the silver tree on the day of Photis' death. Patriarch Photis claimed that the truth that revealed itself to Isatius is not the only way to serve the twins. The doctrine of the new faith frees its followers from the strict shackles of the lot and teaches them to seek their own path to the peak of the shining tree. Commoners free from the lots, refusing to do nothing but work and suffer. Lowly peasants claiming the right to rule and wage war. New believers ready to take up arms and fight for their faith. If they receive Father Leonard's summons, they will likely flock to the streets of Anazote. You glance over the handwritten page the abbot has given you. Okay, there we go. You glance over the handwritten page. All right. Brothers and sisters who have heard and received the word of Patriarch Photis as your own new faith, you have been summoned. Come to the place where our teacher's life was tragically cut short on the day of his demise. We will meet there in the shade of the silver tree to honor the memory of Patriarch Photis and complete his life's work. We will make ourselves heard by Patriarch Cassius. We will demand that the church recognize the new faith as equal to the teachings of Saint Ignatius. Okay. Finish this off. All right. So it's time to take a little bit of a break, all right? I'm gonna take like a 1 to 2 to 3 minute break. Stretch my legs and just wake myself up, okay? You know, just so that I can at least get 2 hours of streaming done. I want to push for three, but 2 hours is the absolute minimum I will be tolerating of myself. Okay. So I will see you again in a few minutes, maybe a few seconds. Who knows, really? All right, had a good walk. Let's get back to it. Hey, okay. So, Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. Okay. Allow me a bit of a stretch so that I can really get back into the swing of things. Okay. We will make camp in the city and we will not leave until our demands are met. Father Leonard has a great following among his people. His summons could have significant repercussions in Anazote. What should you do? Fulfill his request. The church will rise, unrest will rise, spy network will fall, and reputation will fall. Theology will rise. Report Leonard to Felipe. I don't really know. Yeah, nah, fuck that. Father Leonard's appeal could pose too much of a threat to the balance of power in Anazote. Yeah, okay. If my eloquence is high and my willpower is not zero, unrest will rise, the spy network will rise, my family's reputation will fall. Take advantage of the sermon to recruit people into the last straw. You accept the abbot's request on one condition. You must let your man speak to his flock before Leonard delivers his sermon. Interesting. Eloquence will rise, and my willpower will fall. Contact the Inquisition. Theology must be greater than 12. Ooh, unfortunate. But regardless, why would I do that? That'd be insanely fucked up. We're not really hurting for reputation right now. So I can do this, but I don't want to. I don't think I want to get rid of my last dredges of willpower just yet. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just go with fulfill the request. I mean, not much more to say about that. It's purely stat-based decision that I'm making. So sorry to disappoint. I will fulfill your request. To be honest, I mean, it's not like, yeah, like him having more people there and raising the unrest. Sure, I don't mind. All other orders are cancelled. You focus all your efforts on printing Father Leonard's summons. Once the leaflets are done, they are spread throughout the province by people you trust. New believers soon begin to leave small Mogran towns and villages and head to Anazote. The city authorities soon take note of the pilgrims arriving in greater numbers every day. 1 week before Patriarch Photis' memorial, the Anazote shut their gates. But the thousands of new believers were already inside its walls. Their walls are outraged, and the gendarmes are forced to reopen the city. The prefecture, the Inquisition, the Legion, none of them are ready to contend with masses of new believers united by a common purpose. On the day of Patriarch Photis' death, Father Leonard addresses his flock with a sermon, then leads the inspired followers to the residence of Patriarch Cassius. One against an immense crowd, Cassius has no choice but to accept their demands. He recognizes the new faith as equal to the teachings of Saint Eustathius and grants the new faith priests in Magra freedom to preach their doctrine as they see fit. That is insane. Just because there was a lot of them, they like caved. I'm pretty sure they weren't like fighting him or anything. Like they weren't causing like an unrest. Well, I mean, they were. I don't think that they were like attacking people or like threatening him. I guess this is why I can't be a politician. If you're not beating me to death, why the hell would I listen to you? Very like me. Very, very like me. Most of the new believers soon leave the city for their homes. However, some commoners choose to remain in Anazote. These several days of sudden chaos have ruined several of the secret chancellery's best laid plans. Your spy network's operations are also disrupted. What's more, people eventually learn that your print shop was involved in the affair. As a consequence, your family falls out of favor with the gentry, who still respect the teachings of Isacius. I don't care. Father Leonard and his flock, on the other hand, are sincerely grateful for your assistance. I could never have assembled so many people without your aid, Bronte. If you ever need our help, we will gladly stand by your side. The unrest is at an all-time high, and the spy network has fallen. And once again, our honor is tarnished. We are a follower. And so, this event is a consequence of your previous actions. The lesser evil. Oh, Christ. I wonder. Oh no. A year has passed since the day Gloria asked for your protection. You have brought up her lowly position several times in conversation with Father, but every time his face darkens and he asks you to stop. You can feel Stefan's influence behind those refusals. Your only option is to wait for something to change. Meanwhile, emotions are running high in the family. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She is often seen in the company of young citizens of low estate. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers, and connections like these will be her downfall. Your sister obediently lends an ear to his speeches, then vanishes again. You are relaxing in the bath after a long day when you suddenly hear rapid footsteps in the hallway and Stefan's angry voice. The door to the bathroom bursts open. Alex, get dressed. We're waiting for you in the sitting room. It's urgent. Perplexed, you get out of the tub and make yourself presentable. Father and Stefan are waiting for you in the sitting room. Gloria is huddled in a chair in the corner. Your elder brother swiftly locks the door behind you. This bodes ill. So I was on my way to a ball at the Labirius mansion. I was already on their doorstep when a servant told me he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. Father, Alex, whom do you suppose they meant? Gloria looks at Stefan defiantly, her lips pursed together. This is the last straw. You will make pariahs of us all, Gloria. I will not allow you to ruin everything Sir Gregor worked for. Sir Gregor? Hell, I'll dig him up and put him in the ground again myself. Stefan is nearly screaming, but then he pulls himself together and continues in a more composed manner. I'm afraid Lady Gloria cannot remain in this house, but being honorable people, we must provide for her future. Sir Jose L. Pelletier is willing to take her as his lawful wife. Gloria, you will be accepted into a household of nobles of the sword. I've been negotiating with your suitor for quite some time. Who gave you the right to decide my fate behind my back? You aren't even the head of this family. Gloria, you must abide by the decisions of your elders. This family has done so much for you already. Now I'm even going to provide you with a good match. You're acting like a spoiled child. You will be a nobleman's wife, you fool. You'll be able to write your poems you'll want for nothing. You'll be able to enjoy your life. Sir El Pelletier has been hounding me for a year now. I can't believe he is in love with me, a lowly common girl. Sure, he's easy on the eyes, he's a skilled warrior and a respected nobleman, but he needs a wife to give birth to his heirs, follow him around obediently at social gatherings, and praise his chivalry. Can't you see that I don't belong in his family? Stuff and nonsense. Father, I have a letter to the El Pelletiers. Sign it as the head of the family. We should invite our future relatives to our house and introduce ourselves to Gloria's future husband and his parents. I hope that Alex will do his part as well. Father reluctantly skims the letter and frowns. Stefan, why have you never spoken to me about a matter of such importance? No match can be made without my consent. Have I announced my wish for Gloria to be married? Father, she leaves us no choice. You know that we cannot make Gloria a Brante, but our family reputation still suffers because of her rebellious ways. Don't you see that this marriage will benefit everyone? Gloria springs to her feet, choking with rage. You do anything to prevent me from joining this family. This marriage will bring nothing but sorrow to me and Sir El Pelletier. All you ever think about is your own interests. Ingrate. I'm looking out for you, and this is how you repay me? Or would you prefer to be cast out for your disgraceful antics? Father, please sign the letter and free us from this debacle once and for all. Gloria rushes towards you in desperation and clasps your hand. Brother, please, you promised you'd never let them kick me out. Put pressure on Father. Unity will fall. Gloria will be at home. Stefan will have bad blood. Stefan's reputation will fall. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. Gloria will rise. That's negligible. And Robert Bronte will fall. Okay. You force Father to adopt Gloria and keep her in the family. Challenge Stefan to the duel. I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm not a nobleman. Sucks. Threaten Stefan. Stefan's disgrace. Ooh. From way back when? No shot. Woo-wee. Or I can say nothing, and willpower will rise, Gloria will be betrothed, and she will hate us. -3 relationship. I mean, I gotta threaten them. I did promise. I promised that I would protect her. So I will threaten him. I will threaten him with his past disgrace. You approach Stefan with a sly grin. It's time to share some old secrets. Long ago, you saw Stefan at the estate of Duke El Velasco and learned about your brother's forbidden tryst. He'd been in love with the Duke's daughter Maria ever since he was a youth, but the old Duke would never have given his daughter to the son of a humble judge, would he? Stefan's face is distorted by pain and rage. You've struck a nerve. You keep the onslaught. Stefan and the Duke's daughter have been lovers ever since, in spite of her marriage of many years. It seems your brother wasn't strong enough to end this forbidden affair. Is this how he strives to improve the family's reputation? You conniving little sneak. You've been shadowing me ever since you were a boy. So you finally decided to play your hand, have you? You reply calmly to his outburst. Either Stefan stands down, or high society will learn of his affair with the Duke's daughter. He cannot dictate Gloria's fate as though she were his property. And Gloria must become a Bronte and a full member of the family. This is the only way to make sure this never happens again. Alex, you backstabbing wretch. You know I'll do whatever it takes to save my beloved's reputation. You shrug. If Stefan truly treasured Maria's reputation so much, he would have ended their affair long ago. Stefan lets out a bitter sigh. I never knew what a pitiless scoundrel you are. Fine, you win. But if you so much as mention Maria again, I'll kill you on the spot. And from this day forth, you are no brother of mine. Get the fuck out of here. What do you think? Did you think I considered what? What? Yo, this guy is actually delusional. Yeah, sorry, blood, but I fucking hated you. I've hated you from the moment I laid eyes on you. Your fucking face haunts my nightmares. I don't give a shit if you consider me your brother. I'd kill you if I were a nobleman. The door slams loudly. Stefan rushes down the steps, saddles his horse, and is gone. Father and Gloria are still in shock. Alex, what have you done? Stefan will never forgive you for this, and he might never come home again. You offer Father an explanation. Stefan was trying to seize control of his family. He wanted to decide its fate as he saw fit. He thought himself a second Gregor Brante, but the Brontes have had their fill of tyrants. You take the letter of marriage and tear it to shreds. Gloria lets out a quiet shriek. You continue with the same passion. Father made his choice long ago. It was grandfather who tried to oust Mother and Gloria from this home for the crime of their low birth. Father has the right to choose his own family. Father sighs deeply, pulling himself together. You're right, Alex. I have to admit it. My fear of your grandfather was too strong. Those days are over. Gloria is Lydia's daughter, the daughter of my wife, and she is my daughter as well. Gloria is shaking now. She cannot believe her ears. Dishonor does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Come to me, my daughter. Gloria Brante. Amen. Let's go. Gloria falls on her adoptive father's shoulders, racked by silent tears. Father. Ah, it says Gloria Brante. Oh, I used to only say Gloria. That was Gloria Brante. Oh my god. You joined their embrace. Gloria squeezes your hand with hers, your sister's eyes glimmering with joy and gratitude. The family is uneasy after Stefan's disappearance, furious at your extortion. Your elder brother does not return home for a long time. I don't give a fuck. Now you could absolutely die. And now she's at home. She is now a full Bronte. Oh, let's go. Let's fucking go. After many years, the simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Milanitis have finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional tax from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Milanitis, which has protected you since time immemorial. The farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral castle of Serpenverda. The gentry who remain loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer? Or is this just an elaborate ruse? Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Archnean rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. And so, the wealth of Magra rises, and the power shifts in favor of the commoners. Wow, this is lovely. All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I've drank a lot of caffeine. This will probably be a frequent occurrence. Hi, I'm back. But definitely you could see me walk into my room, so. Get deep into my chair. Okay. Now that Archduke Milanitis. Oh, sorry. I touched something that I shouldn't have. Okay, cool. Oh shit, I'm still touching the thing that I shouldn't touch. Hopefully I didn't change anything. Oh dear. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're still good. Okay. Well, I sure hope we're still good. Don't worry about what I touched. It's not important. Now that Archduke Milanitis has yielded in his struggle for power, the city of Anazote is enjoying a moment of respite. But your gut tells you to stay on your guard. The powerful Arcanian noble has relinquished some of his power, and someone will surely make an attempt to seize it. You tell your people to watch the city closely and report anything even slightly suspicious to you right away. At first, they mistake your unease for unfounded paranoia, but your gut feeling soon proves to be true. Late one night, Alida barges into the print shop, clearly excited. Found something big. You've got to see this. She takes you to the north gate. Fowd is waiting for you in the dark back street next to a sizable wooden crate. The old man lifts the heavy lid with a groan. Here, my friend, take a look. You take a step closer and freeze involuntarily. Alida manages a nervous chuckle. Fowd wipes beads of sweat from his brow. Inside the crate are at least 24 gunpowder muskets, along with bullet pouches full of lead balls, with a couple of kegs of gunpowder. This would be enough to arm a full squad. You cannot help but recall the convicts' revolt in Illyria 3 years ago. Nowadays, anyone even suspected of owning a firearm similar to the guns they used is sent to the gallows at once. Where did Fowd find all of this? The old man lifts a finger, eager to enlighten you. So I was doing my watch, just like you asked, in a nice little place by the gate. And then I saw a loaded wagon with 3 sturdy fellows on it. They looked every bit like your ordinary workmen, except there's something funny about them. They keep whispering and fidgeting, all odd-like, so I think maybe they're the last straw, right? I wanted to shush them, tell them to calm down, but the twins told me I better wait. And then bam, they get stopped by a patrol. The gendarmes keep asking them questions. Before you know it, they ask to see what's in the crate. Well, that was that. The youngsters were all over the gendarmes before I could blink, and they did a real number on them, I tell you what. The gendarmes barely managed to cry for help before they all got knocked out. Then the guys started bickering. They ended up dumping the crate down an alley and scattering. The gendarmes came to and stumbled after them. Everybody forgot about the crate. I thought I ought to see what all the fuss was about. When I saw what was in there, I dragged the crate off to the side and called for you right away. You give the packing crate a closer look and notice a trademark brand on the side. This is a crate from one of Meyer Egmont's mines. They usually contain silver. So Egmont is smuggling firearms into the city now, and men who knew about it are being hunted by the prefecture. They will not be able to hide for long, and once they're finally caught, it will not be long before Felipe hears about these weapons. You stare at the guns, lost in thought. Where did Egmont procure these weapons? And are there more of them stashed throughout the city? You may not have all the answers, but you still have to do something. Report this to Felipe. Why the fuck would I do that? No. You give him the crate of guns and track down the men who smuggled it into the city. And I have to do extra work? Get the fuck out of here. No way. Come on. Inform El Vermont about this. Can't do it because we didn't make a deal. If Felipe gets his hand on Egmont, El Vermont's plan will fall apart. Keep Egmont's city secrets safe. Alright? Keep Egmont's secrets safe. You take the weapons back to him, then you make sure his men have a place to hide. Meyer Egmont will be grateful for it. I don't really get much of a benefit from that, so no thanks. Destiny, stash of gunpowder, personality scheming. Destiny, stockpile of arms. Power will go down. Meyer Egmont will still be arrested. Ooh. With the gunpowder, you can use these weapons to arm a squad of Last Straw members personally loyal to you. Why is he gonna be arrested then? Aren't we stealing the guns? I don't know. What do we do? You know, I don't even know why I asked. What do we do? We seize the fucking guns for ourselves. These are ours. These are our guns. These are ours. I found them. I found them fair and square. They're mine. I worked hard. I found them on the side of the road. They're mine. These firearms are incredibly valuable. They ought to be put to good use. You tell Fao to find a wagon of your own so you can hide the crate somewhere safe. My tea got cold, so I just decided to finish it up. And the gendarmes? They're patrolling the city. They'll be sure to search us if they see us. Let Alita take care of it. A few carefully orchestrated street brawls along the path ought to distract the gendarmes long enough for you to pass. Got it. A few hours later, you reach your safe house. You hide the crate of guns under some sackcloths in the same cave where you keep the gunpowder. With weapons like these, your loyal men will be transformed into a powerful army. But for now, you have to keep them a secret. You return to the print shop at dawn, tired and aching after a sleepless night. Moss is waiting in the office when you arrive. Tired, Brante? Well, no rest for the wicked. Sir Felipe wants to meet in the Archduke's garden in an hour. Don't be late. He ain't in the best of moods. Felipe seldom, if ever, meets with anyone in person. You nod to Moss and send him away, trying to keep your hands from shaking. Like, I feel like from the way that they write Moss's dialogue, his accent is absolutely New Yorker, and it's absolutely implied to be so. Give me a moment. Okay. Like, he is absolutely a New Yorker. Or Boston accent. I don't know. One of the two. I watch a lot of nags, and I'm still not sure about which one is which. Sand scrapes beneath your heels. The shade from the trees in the city garden provide barely any respite from the beating sun. There is no one here. Sir Felipe awaits you on a little bench in the far end of a garden path. The advisor is surrounded by a flock of birds muttering softly. Felipe feeds them tiny scraps of bread from a small loaf. You take a seat next to him. When Felipe finally speaks to you, you are surprised to hear sincere, friendly warmth in his voice. You know, Alex, life has taught me an important lesson. When someone does their job and does it well, that's worthy of respect. It's a shame that doesn't apply to you. You tamp down the rising panic. You cautiously ask what you've done to disappoint Sir Felipe. Meyer Eggman tried to spark an armed uprising right under your nose. You see, his men have been smuggling firearms into the city. He was hoping to arm his miners and send them off to demand justice. Are you aware of this, Bronte? The friendly warmth in his voice is gone. No, you are not, you tell him, trying to keep your voice steady. Not in the slightest. Felipe seems to believe you. He sneers at your reply. I know you weren't, but it's your job to be, Bronte. You're the ringleader of every riot in the city, are you not? But you didn't catch this, Bronte. Eggman would have slipped through our fingers if the gendarmes hadn't reacted in time. And then the twins alone know what he would have done. But now, we own Eggman. Head to toe, thank the twins. I interrogated him myself. When he realized what we were accusing him of, he didn't even try to hide it. He gave up all his men as soon as I pressed the issue. He'd been smuggling guns here for several months now, all the way from Illyria. They're stashed all across the city. Even Eggman doesn't know where they all are. It won't be easy for my agents to find them all. Even the crate the smugglers brought here last night has disappeared. So you and the last straw need to keep an eye out for those guns. Got it? You avert your gaze and nod. Eggman will hang as soon as our revolt begins. Don't disappoint me again unless you want to swing next to him, Bronte. You're only alive as long as you're useful. He stands up, throws the bread on the ground, and leaves. The birds in front of the bench tear into the loaf, ripping it to pieces at the sound of Felipe's cane fades away into the distance. A cold shiver runs down your spine as you watch them. The advisor suspected nothing. But now, you have even more questions than before. Meyer Eggman is a bold man, but smuggling guns into the city? That is too much even for him. Someone must have put the old man up to it. And that someone is almost certainly dangerous. You need to stay on your guard. Alright. The struggle of power has shifted back into the hands of the old nobility. Slowly but surely. It is still anyone's game. I am so excited to use these. Oh man. Eggman's arrest. The industrialist was arrested by the secret chancellery. Deafening silence fills your home. You are standing by Mother's bedside. So are Father, Gloria, and Nathan. Oh, for the love of God. Sorry, I'm just... stretching. Alright. For an entire day, Mother has been feverish, barely conscious. Gloria never left her side, not even for a minute. Nathan has even stopped drinking so he can offer your sister his awkward help. Mother's health deteriorated greatly over the past year, and the fighting in the family home has dealt a great blow to her. She has been bedridden for a month. You have been to every doctor and folk healer, but no one can help her. They all tell you the same thing. Lady Lydia's life is in the hands of the twins now. If she passes away, she will not come back. And so you wait by mother's bed in sorrow, hoping that she will regain consciousness. There's a long silence that no one has the courage to break. Then at last you hear Nathan's meek voice. Mother, it's me, Nathan. Can you hear me? Mother suddenly rises on her elbows. She looks around, her eyes unseeing, beads of sweat forming on her pale forehead. My son, where are you? Nathan takes Mother by her thin, emaciated hand. She leans closer to look at him, struggling to recognize his face. Stefan, were you playing with your younger brothers in the garden? You must be all dirty. Come here. You may not be my son, but I care for you as though you were my own. Oh, what a nice, happy family we have. A blessing from the twins. Nathan is unsure what to do or say. Father strokes his wife's hair. His eyes are two orbs of searing, indescribable pain. You're a little confused, Lydia. This is Nathan, and the children are all grown up now, remember? Mother's eyes were bright and alive just now, but the next moment they grow dim again. Her head falls weakly back onto the pillow. You're right, my husband. The children grew up, but I was never able to teach them how to live in peace with each other. I let you down, Robert. Robert. You made a mistake when you took me into your home. You saved my daughter and me from a life of poverty. And how did I repay you? Gloria cannot take it anymore. What are you saying, Mother? Don't you dare blame yourself. You did your best. You did all you could. Father looks away, unable to hold back the deluge of tears. Mother's voice, so faint now, calls out to you. And Alex, where is he? With great care, you move closer to Mother. You answer her quietly. You're here, right by her side. Alex, I'm so happy to know you're here. I always knew greatness awaited you, ever since you were a little boy. What a shame I won't be there to see it. I couldn't save the Brante family. I will face my punishment at my final judgment. Don't worry, my dears. I am ready to stand before the twins. Lydia's voice trails off. No longer a voice, just a final whisper of life. That's so fucking sad. No way. No way. So Mother can't recover because Unity is down by 1. This is fucking evil. This is fucking evil. You just have to accept the loss now. Your heart aches and grows numb as you realize the inevitable. There's nothing you can do to help your dying mother. There's nothing that would give her strength. Your family has grown weak from all the spite and strife that has filled your home. And now, at Mother's deathbed, you can feel the enmity, disappointment and anger driving your family apart. Children, accept this humbly. Her voice trails off, eyes grown dull. Her cold heart releases yours. Fall onto the bed and grow still. The last emotion on Mother's face is a sadness born of exhaustion. A scream of despair rips itself out of Gloria's throat. We did this to her. We fought so much that we killed her. Me, Stefan, Alex. Nathan yelps with grief. He runs away, howling. Father slowly sits and takes his late wife's hand in his. His tears flow no more. His eyes stare far into the distance, empty and bleak. Oh my god. This is all because I threatened Stefan. Family unity dropped. Oh my god. Lydia. You mourn her together, but alone. You leave the house to roam the garden, empty and numb. Mother has left this world for the peak of the pillar, to face the twins' judgment. She spent all her life preparing for this journey. But now her mortal life has ended. She's no longer here. Never again will she gather her family at the table. Never again will she offer a word of solace in trying times. Never again will she greet you with her quiet, humble smile. You bury your face in your hands. Lydia, your mother, has left this world. Succumbed to illness. And unity has dropped. And willpower is at an all-time low. Mother's demise. Your mother lost her fight to the severe illness. She will never return from the hereafter. That one was the worst one. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Stefan Brante, bad blood. The sitting room is brightly illuminated by dozens of candles. Today, the tapestry bearing the Brante family crest, an oak branch wrapped in chains, hangs over the fireplace. The petitions have been granted and the paperwork is ready. Today, Gloria will join the Brante family and become your father's lawful daughter. The entire family has gathered together, except for Stefan. Ever since you and Gloria got your way, your elder brother has spent less and less time at home, preferring to take prolonged trips or visit his noble friends. Gloria is standing by the fireplace, clothed in a modest black dress, quite unlike her usual trousers and men's jacket. Even her hair is braided today. For the sake of this momentous occasion, she is behaving as reservedly as she can, though she often glances at you with gratitude. Father steps forward solemnly and makes a speech as the family watches in profound silence. Come closer, Gloria, and become a branch of the Brante family tree. Gloria kneels humbly before the man she has called Sir Robert all her life. He holds his hand in front of her face as the ceremony demands. From this day forth, you shall be a full member of this family, your fate now bound with ours. Wear your name with honor, and may the Brante family prosper with you. Gloria leaves a filial kiss on the fingers of his outstretched hand. Now arise, Gloria Brante. Slowly, gracefully, confidently, Gloria rises to her feet. For the first time since childhood, she looks and seems like your older sister. With a smile, Father at last embraces his adopted daughter as a parent. Gloria warmly responds to his embrace and hurries to you. Give me a minute. Sorry. I thought, like, I have something else playing, and I thought it was coming through to OBS for a second. Alex, we're legally brother and sister now. I owe it all to you. I swear, I'll never forget what you've done for me. I promise I'll do more carefully from now on. I'll be more careful from now on. I'll only do what's best for the family whose name I bear. You answer with her without hesitation. Gloria has always been your family. All you did was make it official. Your sister squeezes your hand in excitement. This is her day, the day she has been waiting for all her life. Loud, thudding steps echo in the foyer. The door swings open. Stefan stands on the doorstep. Your elder brother, now haggard looking and covered in the dust of the road, casts a tired gaze over the faces of the family gathered around the fireplace. So, it seems I've arrived at the very moment of triumph. Would you look at that? Already celebrating the day the Brante family lost its honor, are you? Gloria stands between you and him, brave and confident, hands on her hips. She has no reason to be afraid of Stefan's fury now. We are celebrating the fact that no member of this family can now toss another member out on the streets. Stefan allows himself a bitter chuckle. Gloria, how typical of you. You've cut off your nose to spite your face. And my brother Alex is just the same. You've all robbed our bloodline of our noble future. You've ruined everything Sir Gregor Bronte paid for in sweat and blood. If it weren't for him, we would have nothing. Stefan's face grows crimson as he says these words. It takes him a moment, albeit a brief one, to compose himself and continue. But what's done is done. Our honor is already lost. From now on, I will have no further connection to our family. I'm leaving for the capital. Nothing will ever make me visit this home again. I suppose it's time for my farewells then. Stefan, wait, don't be ridiculous. You're still my eldest son and heir. And what, pray tell, am I to inherit, father? You robbed us all of our hereditary title right when it was within our grasp. But I don't blame you. You're just a victim of my brother's scheme. Or do you disagree, Alex? Stefan delivers his furious tirade from the doorway, one step away from leaving. What will you tell Stefan before he departs forever? Several times with Stefan, it doesn't matter, I don't care. Yeah, it literally doesn't matter, I don't care. I have to greater or equal to 1? That's a stretch. That's way hard. Yeah, nah, you can kill yourself. Fuck that. Yeah, reputation still goes down by 10. Yeah, our reputation is fucked. But now I'm the heir. That's all that matters. Yeah. Several ties. Kill yourself. In fact, I'll do it for you. Coldly, you snap back at Stefan. And if a title was all your brother ever wanted from this family, then he doesn't deserve to bear the family name. All Stefan has brought to the Brante family is strife, animosity, and scorn. For the sake of his ambition, he was ready and willing to sacrifice anything, anyone, all under the pretense of protecting his family. Good riddance. There is no place for him here. Stefan meets your lengthy speech with surprising calm. When you're done, a bitter grin appears on his face once again. You will never understand what it means to be a nobleman, Alex. But you are right about one thing. This is no longer my concern. It's high time I did something for myself. I'm still the son of Amalia Elborn. Should I ask my uncle Sir Elborn to grant me his family name, he will not refuse me. I shall forge a new fate for myself, one without any of you in it. Stefan studies each of you, as though trying his best to remember this moment forever. His face reflects a fleeting moment of regret, but is quickly replaced by decisiveness. I cannot reject this blood tide. It flows in my veins now, but I can reject all of you. Sir Robert Bronte, you are no longer my father or my patriarch. Alex, Nathan, you are my brothers no more, and I will make sure everyone knows it. Stefan removes a ring bearing the family seal from his finger and hurls it into the roaring fireplace. Then he glances at each of you one last time before turning away and walking briskly outside. A moment later, you hear hooves clattering against cobblestone, growing quieter as they recede into the distance, and then a long silence marred only by the crackle of the fireplace. Father collapses into a chair, overcome with grief. My eldest son has rejected our family. Ye gods, what did I do to anger you so? Gloria steps carefully towards her foster father. Her hand comes to rest on his shoulder. He puts it to his face as the tears begin to flow. I hope Stefan would come to accept our decision, but a hereditary title means more to him than our family's happiness. We won't make the same mistake he did. We will weather the scorn of the noble families with dignity. We will remain united in this home, no matter what. Yes, Father, that we will. Your family does their best to console each other, but the celebration is ruined. Eventually, you go to your room to sleep, but a flood of memories keeps slumber at bay. You remember Stefan leading you by the hand through the yard. You remember sitting at the big table on the porch, poking each other in the arm. You remember marching through the streets of Anazote at night looking for Gloria. And now Stefan has left his family home in Anazote, never to return. This is the last you will ever hear of the man who used to be your elder brother. Severed all ties. It is what it is. And so our reputation has fallen to an all-time low. Unfortunate. But nevertheless, here we are. Stefan was exiled. I mean, he exiled himself though. The mark of dishonor, the family falls apart, but it hasn't fallen apart yet. But our reputation is absolutely at zero. Ugh, it sucks, but it is what it is. We do what we can with what we have. Alright, the mark of dishonor, here we are. Recent events have dealt a crushing blow to the reputation of the Brante family. You have slipped into the realm of infamy and disgrace. So far, the noble families of the city have patiently endured your transgressions, but now you have lost face in their eyes. Noble society is eager to bring your every dusty scandal back to the light. Old offenses, ancient grievances, and naturally father's marriage to Lydia Bronte and Gloria's ignoble origins. And they have surely not forgotten that the sons of Robert and Lydia Bronte, Alex and Nathan, were born out of wedlock. None of the nobles will ever say this to your face, of course. Their behavior will seem perfectly ordinary on the surface. But no matter where you go now, you will be followed by scornful glances and dismissive whispers. We have to accept this and humbly bear this burden. All hope of being ennobled by the sword is lost. No matter what we do to restore our name, we will never wash away this mark of dishonor. How is our relationship dwindling because of that? Balthas. Okay. I mean, that's just how it is. We are simply branded by dishonor now. Dragged through the dirt and never to recover. Thomas's wedding! He isn't exiled, I haven't severed all ties, and he has not faced true death. Let's go. My enemy. That's what I have on in the background. That's what's keeping me awake right now. Give me another second. Okay. Okay. Remarkable that you can see me coming from the moment I open my door. Love that. It's pretty useful for something. Okay. This is a day you remember well. It began with a loud, impatient knock on the door. You're surprised to see Thomas paying a visit to your home. There is joy on his face as your old friend shakes your hand. Okay. What we got, baby? What is this, actually? Whoa. Brante, it's been a while since I saw you last. I just got back to the city. I visited my folks and ran straight here. Auten finally stopped hounding me. I sure hope that whole mess is over for good. You invite your friend in, but he gestures for you to wait, a sly smile on his face. I'm in a hurry right now, buddy. So much to do, so little time. I'll explain. I just got back from Somina. There was a girl in the village, a shopkeeper named Mireille. I'm gonna say Mireille. Mireille. She gave me shelter, and I ended up falling head over heels in love with her. You congratulate your friend and pat him on the shoulder with joy. He laughs happily. My poor ma and pa, all their life they'd hoped I'd marry a noblewoman. I used to hope for that too when I was young, but now I know some things matter more than noble titles. Mireille's about to be my wife. You offer Thomas words of congratulation, but he suddenly grows serious. Auten's left me alone, but Mireille and I will still be better off far away from Anazote. I wasn't happy serving in the Legion anyways. I thought the nobleman's lot would set me free from suffering and do the same for my descendants. But it just ain't that simple. I was less free than ever. I'll be better off as a commoner again, earning my living by the sweat of my brow. A farmstead might not be an estate, but the high and mighty won't ever set their sights on me again. I'll live my life in peace, just like I wanted. I've just got one last request for you. You've done so much for me, but I'd be honored if you'd be a witness to my wedding vows before the twins. So you can bear witness to his wedding vows. A healthy infusion of willpower, okay? If I was a priest, I could do it myself. Or I can bid him farewell. There's no... why would I not bear witness to his wedding vows? He's my boy. Your hand comes to rest on Thomas's shoulder. It would be an honor and privilege for you to be a witness at your friend's wedding. Thomas glows with joy. Wonderful! You've got no idea how much this means to me, Alex. I gotta go get ready. Several days later, you follow your childhood friend in a smallish temple nestled on the edge of the Brass District. He's wearing a plain white shirt. Needless luxuries are forbidden at the austere wedding ritual. You are both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired young girl, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Mireille, meet Alex Brante, my best friend ever since we were lads. He'll bear witness to our oaths before the twins. The bride greets you with a humble bow. The three of you step inside the temple. You close the doors behind you. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. An amiable, aged priest by the name of Ignatius Aventini meets you inside. Thomas and Mireille kneel before the altar. Weird, Mireille. O twins, elder and younger, behold these two as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. The candle flames dance and quiver. You hear a strange murmur in the temple. The darkness beneath the vault of the temple ceiling swirls into two colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them, awestruck. Thomas, Dost thou swear thy loyalty to this divine union? I do. The bride assents to the same query. Your turn is next. You stand over the kneeling bride and groom and speak their names as the twins watch over you. Thomas Guerrero and Mireille of Solmina. One of the colossal shades lean over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts in a beacon of light that illuminates the temple from within. Thomas and Mireille look into each other's eyes in amazement. From this moment forth, they are bound to one another by divine law, and divine love fills their heart. In your sight of the twins, Thomas Guerrero and Mireille of Solmina are now man and wife, as Alex Bronte bears witness. The stern, solemn ceremony has ended. It is time to celebrate. A humble but happy feast is to be held in the bride's village. As day gives way to night, you and Thomas leave the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. Your old friend looks off into the distance, hopeful. Yeah, remember how we fought in the yard over our little brothers? Now, look how much has happened since then. Both of you lads do recall the beginning of your friendship. I'll treasure those moments forever. I will. And you can be sure that my firstborn son's name will be Alex. Thomas chuckles, pondering. You and I, we grew up in the same street, but look how different we turned out. You have to say in other people's fates, Bronte. Your name will surely be remembered, but me, I'm still a humble nobody. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I used to be so sure a man could never start over with a clean slate, but I guess I was wrong. I'll never forget you, Alex Bronte, and I'll never forget everything you've done for me. A tear runs down your friend's cheek. For the last time, Thomas embraces you. Tomorrow he will leave Anazote forever. Will you ever meet again? Nobody knows. And so, the soldier's new life begins. You see Thomas off to his new life, far from all the danger and chaos. Repentance. The last few months have been marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brante estate. Your only concern these days is the price you have to pay for such peace. Today you come home late, wrung dry after a day of work and worry. Everyone is sound asleep. You are making your way to your bedroom when you hear a suspicious noise coming from Father's study. It is too late for Father to be working. You go to the door of the study, trying to tread softly and turn the knob. The room is brightly lit by the moon. You recognize your brother's clumsy silhouette above Father's desk in the moonlight. Nathan hears you coming in and leaps to the side in fear. You see something glinting in his hands. Father's dagger. Oh, Alex, it's you. Shush. I just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry, I know holding a weapon is against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's for me, actually. I have to go to the twins. Your younger brother clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. You try to remain still. Nathan wants to take one of his own lives. But why? I'm not sure how to say it, brother. I just can't find a place in this world. I'm always an outsider, always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I can't stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their great plan? But I've only made things worse. I meddled with the Markian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in vice, but I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy, they gave me all sorts of answers. But none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me now. I've got to go see the twins myself and ask them. I know I'm an affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I'll repent I'll pray for their forgiveness. But the twins never forgive, you tell Bronte softly. They never have and they never will. You will be judged in the hereafter for every false step you take. Your younger brother sighs heavily. I know. Mother taught us that all our lives. But I still have to try. There's no other way. One of my lives isn't too big a price if it works. I can't find any use for them anyways. See you soon, brother. Hope I'll be different when I come back. A cloud passes over the moon. Are you fucking serious, yo? Okay. A cloud passes over the moon. Father's study grows dark, illuminated only by the shining light of the distant pillar. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger, aiming it at his own heart. Are you fucking serious, yo? I can't protect him. I can't call Mother because Mother's dead. I just have to watch him die. Your younger brother has his reasons for taking one of his lives. Take a step back. The life that Nathan is about to take belongs to him. He is free to do with it as he pleases. May he finally find an end to his desperate search for meaning. Nathan whispers a word of gratitude, barely audible, then a sharp exhale as he gets ready to strike. His hands guide the dagger awkwardly through the air and into his chest. The sharp tip reluctantly sinks into his flesh. A weak yelp escapes Nathan's throat. He staggers and falls, blood oozing out of the wound. Moments pass, and Nathan's body dissipates as his mortal frame dissolves. He has departed to commune with the twins. What awaits him in the hereafter? You pick up Father's dagger, carefully wipe it clean, and put it in the drawer of his desk where it belongs. When the skies begin to grow bright before the dawn, you go to the family crypt to welcome your brother back. Nathan is already there, lying atop the granite slab. Even made anew, his naked body is still just a thin, awkward, and feeble. He suddenly stands when he hears your footsteps. His eyes are shining with otherworldly light. I spoke to them, brother. I dared to address them as my soul rose up. I begged the twins for forgiveness and they heard me. They did. And the elder, he rushed out to me. He wanted to respond to me. I know he did. But the younger sword stopped us. It cut the bond between us and I fell. But I saw compassion in the elder's eyes as I fell. And he followed me. He shall descend to the lands again. He shall witness our suffering and bring us mercy. And then the world will change at last. Your younger brother shivers, almost convulsing with cold. You wrap him in a black cloak. Together you return home before sunrise. No one in your family ever learns of Nathan's lesser death. 1 second. Okay. Nathan stops wasting time in taverns with suspicious characters. He spends every day in ardent prayer, again and again. His quiet voice speaks of the elder's coming return. The family watches the drastic change in their wayward son with great surprise. He's hopeful. My willpower is at an all-time low again. A storm on the horizon. For over a year now, Anazote has been steadily simmering with unrest. Like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder, demanding new freedoms and protections under the law. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The noble gentry insists that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their ancient privilege, sword in hand. In spite of this enormous pressure, Overseer Gaius Tempest remains highly reluctant to allow any bloodshed. You see? But the common people are already too desperate. Even the age-old fear of the nobility's might is barely enough to keep them in check. More and more people are rejecting the lots and converting to the new faith. Not to mention other stranger, more esoteric teachings and beliefs. New secret societies and clandestine gatherings appear every day. Painted pamphlets litter the streets, yet no one is rushing to subdue the citizens or punish the city. For now. Father Leonard has transformed the Temple of the Silver Tree into a new believer's stronghold. He is no longer afraid to break the ban on preaching the new faith. His servants now openly challenge their old faith. It seems the Church of the Twins is unable to recognize its great mistake. The lots must be abandoned as relics of the past. The Twins granted everyone the freedom to choose their own path in this world, and I will not stop until the freedom is recognized throughout the Empire. The next patriarch of Magra must be chosen by the parish, not the clergy. This is the will of the Twins, and it must be ours as well. Leonard intends to amend the old order of the church and become patriarchy. His opponents, however, are beset by eternal struggle and strife. Alright. We're coming up on the end game. The Inquisition is fighting a myriad of heresies, more of which appear every day. Not even the highest ranks of the faith are free from suspicion. The new faith, meanwhile, is steadily growing in numbers. People no longer fear being damned to the foot of the pillar for rejecting the divine design. The streets are restless and dangerous. Minds and souls are beset by confusion. The authorities argue and bicker amongst themselves. Conspiracies plague the city. Time marches on and change is coming. It cannot be stopped. Can you find a way to guide it in the right direction? The weight of a new age now rests upon your shoulders. And so, the schism widens. Sorry. Alright. For over a year now, Anazote has been slowly simmering with unrest. A feud between the estates, between the old faith and the new, between the law of the empire and noble traditions. Tensions are at an all-time high, waiting for the slightest spark to catch fire and burn. Even your family's affairs have been affected by the growing unrest. It is during these troubling times that the future of your family will be decided. Father shakes you awake early in the morning. He is excited, clutching a letter bearing the imperial seal of the Tempest dynasty. Wake up, son. Come to the sitting room. A letter has come from Overseer Gaius Tempest. He gingerly breaks the seal and unfolds the missive. To the honorary Brante family, I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, Overseer of the province of Magra, have given due consideration to your position to have your bloodline ennobled by the sword. You're expected in 1 week at Castle Enery, as are all petitioners for the sword, where you shall hear my decision firsthand. After finishing the letter, Father turns to you. He looks fatigued. Well, son, it's time for us to be honest with each other about our family. What do you have to say about this? Where do we, the Brontes, stand after so many years? What hopes do we have for the future of this family? The past 7 years have been marked by What's the fucking point? Okay. The rare joys and frequent fights and the arguments, the attempts at peace, the losses, managed sometimes you have managed to change their minds and sometimes you have not. But your decisions have made you realize what matters most to you. The future of the Bronte family must be decided here and now. Become nobles of the sword. Branded by dishonor, yeah, get the fuck out of here. It's not happening. Would have been nice, but you know, and sometimes you can't have it all. Ah, become members of the overseer's entourage. Be ennobled by the sword and favored by the overseer. Full power would have arisen. All hopes of being ennobled by the sword is lost, but the Brante family will remain united. Or we can sever the ties. The family will fall apart. And unity will be at an all-time low. Both will dwindle. Unfortunate. I guess you have to preserve the family. That's it. Simple as that. You reluctantly confess to Father that what both of you already know. It is clear what Gaius Tempest's decision will be. Your family's hopes of being ennobled by the sword are long gone. You had to maintain your family's reputation and fortune and peace at home. It all proved too much to handle. After expending too much energy resolving the strife between your family, you had little strength left for the rest. With a sigh, Father agrees. You're right, my son. We cannot weather the storm that came upon us. Who could ever hope for a hereditary title after that? I can only imagine how your father must be raging in the hereafter. The Bronte patriarch uneasily considers what comes next. But our family is still together, still whole. It pains me to think that there were so many losses that could have been prevented. I must confess, at one point I even feared that there might be nothing of us left. But we are still a family. Very well. We will abandon the pursuit of the nobility of the sword for our descendants and tend to the Bronte family itself. Nathan peeks into the sitting room. His hair is tousled. Father? Alex? What happened? Nothing, Nathan. Life goes on. That's all. The wary father embraces his two sons. The last of the embers that were once the letters of Gaius Tempest smolder away in the fireplace. It's almost too much to bear. Their family ties have been preserved. The Bronte family will live on. Why? Oh, Gregor. I thought it was... Okay, never mind. I don't give a fuck. Sorry. I don't care. You're literally dead. Why would I care? Explosion, huh? The fuck? What do you mean by explosion? Christ. Actually kind of spooked me a bit. A deafening rumble, the tinkling of broken glass. The pavement shudders beneath your feet. Another explosion. Sophia, what has she done? Struggle to understand what is going on. People stare in horror at the white cloud rising slowly above downtown Anizote. Magistrate Elvermon's mansion. You run towards it. The impact of the explosion is visible from several districts away. Houses and fences are crooked, and a grotesque mosaic of shattered glass litters the street. Shrieks of terror, moans of pain. The air is still. A massive cloud of dust and gunpowder smoke blankets the entire noble district. People stumble out of the haze, covered in gray dust. They look like shadows. Okay, this is pretty hype, I gotta say. It's actually pretty hype. Yeah, I think I really, really like Sophia. I do like it. I do like it. I am appreciative of what's going on. What was I? Where was I? Everything seems colorless. Only the blood oozing from the victim's wounds is of a vivid scarlet hue. crowd of onlookers have already gathered around the ruins of El Vermon's mansion. You notice Alida among them. She can hardly suppress a smile. This is the most powerful blow against the tyranny of the Empire I've ever seen. Where the magistrate's mansion once stood, there is now only a gaping hole full of rubble. Ripped from the ground by the blast, the pavement around the house resembles cracked eggshells. The neighboring homes have lost their exterior walls and their rooms are exposed. Gendarmes pull the bodies of those who have met true death out of the wreckage, wrapping them in coarse fabric and loading them onto wagons. You feel sick. You've never seen so many dead bodies before. Mutilated in the explosion, they look only vaguely human. You force yourself not to avert your gaze. How many of them deserve this? How many just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? Servants, coachmen, simple passerbys. Most of them must have been quite old, but still. Do they really have to fall victim to Sophia's plot? Yes. That's like your girlfriend. They kinda have to. Sophia chose the perfect target. The murder of El Vermon, an extremely powerful nobleman of ancient lineage, will not only remind the simple folk that the last straw is fighting tyranny, but will also instill fear in the defenders of the Empire. Did you make the wrong choice? Okay, did you make the wrong choice? Should you have refused Sophia and prevented this disaster? It is too late to change anything now. Alright, come on. Like, that was really, really funny seeing the truth that showed up. Like, like, it's a really suspenseful scene, and like, I get it, but like, it fades in like that. It was really funny. So power shifts once more into the hands of the commoners. And so El Vermon has met his end. And so the greater good. It's the greater good, baby. Let's see what we got. It is nighttime. The print shop is empty. You sit by a lit candle awaiting Sophia's arrival, and she finally arrives. The door creaks. You can barely discern the smoldering embers of pipe in the darkness. Her languid footsteps approach. The glow of the candlelight falls across Sophia's face. Hey there, Alex. You take a step forward. The familiar smell of tobacco tickles your nostrils. Sophia glances at the misericord, her farewell gift. Still got it on you, huh? That's good. You'll need it soon enough. You raise your eyebrows inquiringly. This time I told you everything. Sorry I couldn't confide in you until the last minute. I see I was wrong now. What in the world is she talking about? That moron Felipe had no idea there was a real revolt brewing under his nose. Well, everything's finally ready. We are ready, Alex. The last straw is tough now. Real tough. We got firearms, manpower, an idea, and most importantly, the people's rage. There's no stopping it now. We just need to point it in the right direction and bam. You ask Sophia where she intends to direct this rage. She stares at you. You cannot tell whether she is surprised or dismayed. What do you mean, where? At the Empire, of course. We're gonna declare war. We're gonna fight until there's nothing left of the old order. We're gonna fight until all those nobles are wiped out, until the world finally changes. The half measures guys like Egmont want aren't gonna make the world better. We're gonna do this for the greater good. We're gonna take the first step tomorrow. Felipe thinks he's achieved his goals. He'll order us to start his fake revolt. But we're gonna start our own revolt, a real one. We'll take Felipe out and then we'll finally be free. Sophia takes your hand. She clenches it so hard it hurts. I want you by my side, Alex. It's payback time. Her eyes are fixated on yours. The golden reflection of the candle flame flickers in them. Agree? Relation. Sophia's secret plot. Talk her out of it. Get the fuck out of here, yo. Why would we do that? Nah, we're agreeing. We're gonna fuck them up. This is the revolution. This is the one that we wanted. This is the revolt that we wanted. You tell her that you will always be together. Tomorrow you will kill Felipe and be free at last. Sophia pushes you onto the desk. The entire world disappears except for her smoldering lips and the flame of the candle. And so it begins. Even late at night, the streets of Anazote echo with chatter. The city cannot sleep. You cannot sleep tonight either. Advisor El Faro sent you a surprising note a few hours ago. He is coming. You hear slow, steady footsteps accompanied by the tapping of a cane. There's a knock at the door. Felipe enters the print shop. Sophia quietly follows him in. You exchange a nod. The print shop is crowded despite the late hour. Father Faud, Alida, and other workers observe Felipe uneasily. Oliver is there too. He acknowledges the Baron with a polite nod. Suddenly realize that Felipe no longer cares at all if the last straw members see his face. You walk into the office with Felipe and Sophia and lock the door. Well then, Brante, I hope your people are ready. It's time to put our plan into action. They're ready, just give us the word. Excellent, excellent. Soon our song of victory will reach its final note. Our road has been a long one. Much longer than we thought. But now the end is in sight. I had a word with the overseer, and in the end I managed to convince him that Elborn simply cannot maintain order in Anazote. We are just one step away from being granted special authority for the secret chancellery. All we need is an excuse for action. Prepare your people and take to the streets. And when I finally get that authority, we will eliminate each and every traitor of the Empire. Egmont, Lennart, Elborn, all of them. But those scum will probably try to flee Anazote. I'll need the people you've recruited throughout Magra, Sophia. There are more than enough of them. I'm glad to hear that. How much time do you need to prepare, Brante? You shift your gaze from Felipe to Sophia. She's been standing behind him all this time, a silent shadow with her head held high, her eyes trained on you. Felipe's cane taps the floor impatiently. He is waiting for your answer. The advisor is right. The day you have worked for all these years has finally come. Are you ready? What will you do now? Spy network is too low. Can't go into hiding. Sophia and our secret plot. Yeah, once you agree to the secret plot, you just can't get out of it, straight up. Yeah, we are going to murder Felipe. This is your chance to break free of the secret chancellery and spark a real revolt in Anazote. Wealth will decrease. The family's wealth, that is. But we have a lot of money, so it's fine. Felipe Alfaro will face true death. Why? How many times have you died? And Sophia will become your lover. Interesting. Well, murder it is. You meet Sophia's gaze. You nod. It's time. Oh, it sure is time. I'm asking you a question, Brante. How much time do you need to get your people ready for this revolt? Your people have been ready for a long time, you say. Sophia walks to the door and slides the bolt open. It clangs loudly. Your loyal people enter the room one by one. Alida, Faud, each of them is accompanied by two muscle-bound, well-armed young men. What in the younger's name? Who are these people, Sophia? What is the meaning of this? Have you seriously decided to start before I even leave? You low-born punks can be so difficult to work with. Shut up, you've said enough. Get 'em! The burly young men grab Felipe by the shoulders on either side. Alida wrenches the cane from his hands and tosses it into the corner. You won't be needing this anymore. The advisor grows pale, even as he tries to retain an air of composure. So mutiny it is. And what are you going to do next, Sophia? What's your plan? I still have all my lives. I'll be back tomorrow and none of you will ever escape me. I can assure you of that. Are you going to drag your little insurgency to the foot of the pillar along with you? Have you really found a backbone now? Your little sacrifice changes nothing, you know that? Okay, so I wonder how they're going to take all of his lives. And you, Brante, so you're staying loyal to this two-faced backstabbing trollop? Or did you happen to buy into the lies you were feeding them? Big mistake. A swift blow cuts him short. Sophia knees Felipe in the groin. He doubles over in pain, gasping for air. I thought I told you to shut up. What happens next is none of your concern. We're going to put this man on trial, Alex. The people's court will judge him. I want you to carry out the sentence. You unsheathe Sophia's gift, the Misericord. The people's court? What kind of dog and pony show is this? Another blow convinces Felipe to remain silent. He is forced to his knees. You form a circle around him. Felipe Alfaro, for crimes against the people, for tyranny, for the murder of innocents, we, the people's court, hereby sentences you to true death. What say you, judges? The people gathered around you throw their fists in the air. They shout as one. Death. The people's court has spoken. You stab Felipe hard in the chest with a dagger. The blade hits the advisor between the ribs and sinks down to the hilt. Pathetic farce. Felipe collapses to the floor. Blood begins to pool under his body. The rebels step uneasily away from the growing puddle. Sophia stays where she is. Her eyes remain fixated on the advisor's corpse. A moment passes and then another. The dead body remains in place. Felipe has met his true death. You cannot believe your eyes. The people's court, whatever it may be, wields the same authority as the prefecture. Your word has become the law. Felipe has left this world forever. Sophia wipes the sweat from her brow. With a deep breath, she straightens her shoulders. The yellow sparks in her eyes gleam brighter than you have ever seen before. We've got our work cut out for us now, Alex. Gather everyone, down to the last man, the new believers, Egmont's miners, the homeless, the farmers. Tell them all to get ready. Anyone who supports us needs to hit the streets and unleash their rage against the nobles and the empire. We'll use the ruckus they raise to deal with the rest of the Secret Chancellery's agents. First things first, we'll purge the last straw of Felipe's bootlickers. Retribution is inevitable. That's the law of the land. And now it's time for all the nobles and Archnians to pay for their crimes and stand trial before the people's court. But what will you do with Felipe's body? Nail it to the Chancellery gate. We don't need to hide anymore. With that, Sophia leaves the print shop with several of your men. The fringe of her dress, still soaked in blood, drips a crimson trail on the floor behind her. And so the secret plot has changed to something more. Sophia trusts you with all her heart, more than anyone else in the world. Well, and so Our cash flow has dwindled slightly. The last straw's revolt. I see. Freedom, so intoxicating, so easily sliding into lawlessness. The desire for freedom infiltrates minds and hearts like a poison, leading people to commit monstrous crimes. Freedom is like fire. In untrained hands, it can burn everything down. The Chancellery now bears the banner of the last straw, a hand clutching a lantern, its beam cleaving the darkness. The body of Felipe El Ferro is chained to the Chancellery gate for all to see. There's a wooden wheel on his stiff neck, the mark of the secret Chancellery. The mob is eager to pelt the advisor's corpse with stones. The gendarmes seized Meyer Egmont and in the first few hours of the revolt, they are swiftly sentenced to true death for treason against the Empire and beheaded. His head was put on a stake in front of the lesser quorum to frighten the people into submission, but it did not work. The common people have seen Meyer Egmont as their protector for years now. His death has only enraged them. The people fill the streets, temper run high, thanks in no small part to the last straw's provocators. The spark has fallen on dry tinder, and now the entire city has caught fire. With Felipe dead, the authorities are helpless against your uprising. And just as planned, the Legion, the noble militia, the prefecture gendarmes, they can do nothing to stop the revolt. Your guns and gunpowder have crushed every attempt to restore order. Sophia's little army has defeated the Empire's first attempt to resist the movement. And now, for one brief moment, the last straw holds sway over the entire city. Together with Sophia, you step onto the Chancellery's tail, stares in the evening sun. The square is crowded, teeming full of people, all of them shouting ecstatically. The time has come to pass judgment. Sorry. Sophia raises an arm. Her eyes are glowing brighter than ever before. The crowd falls silent. Listen, everybody. The nobles will never dare to oppress the commoners again. We've got weapons. We've got men. We are the last straw. The old world order is about to come to an end. Today, they tried to stop us on our way to freedom. They will be punished by the people's court. One by one, your people drag Felipe's thugs out from the crowd and make them kneel in the dust. Spot Moses among them, glancing around like a cornered beast. The mob screams in their faces. The people you see before you are loyal lapdogs of the secret Chancellery. They all serve the man who now hangs on the fence behind me. Today we will put them on trial. Your men line up for the prisoners. You give the command. Ready? Please, Alex, spare me. I want to live. I was always faithful to you. I don't deserve to die. Enemies of freedom, for crimes against the people of Anazote, we, the people court, hereby sentence you to true death. You raise an arm. Aim. Gunmen train their muskets on the prisoners. What say you, judges? The people in the crowd pump their fists in the air. The cacophony of disparate voices merged into one. Death! The people's court has spoken. You drop your hand. The guns fire all at once. Bodies fall to the ground. The mob watches in awe as blood begins to drip down the Chancellery stairs. The bodies remain forever dead. And now they scream in terror and glee. The choir of voices so deafening it makes nearby windows shake. The word of the people has become the law. We cannot be stopped. We have tolerated the tyranny of the Empire for far too long. The time has come to take our destiny into our own hands. Those Imperial bastards can't stop our righteous revolution. Arm yourself, people. Your freedom is in your hands. You walk down the stairs, accompanied by the cries of the people. Friedmund, take the men and tell everyone to leave the square. Then get to the city walls. We need to get all the gates under control. Oh, I'm sorry. Gaius Tempest is probably already on his way here with his battalions. Aye, aye. Sophia turns to you. Although utterly exhausted, she still manages a smile. I told you it was nothing but trouble. Even I don't know what's gonna happen next. It doesn't matter anymore, you tell her. Now you will either win or hang. No two ways about it. Sophia laughed. Well said. I've got an urgent job for you, Alex. You've done well, but our foothold here seems far too weak. Okay. If our enemies decide to work together, we'll be crushed. We need to split up. I'll arm the new recruits. Friedmund will defend the walls. You keep an eye on the city. We have to finish off our enemies here in Anazote and find new allies to support us. You promise to do everything you can. Okay. Sophia's fingers lightly brush against your cheek. Her lips find yours, briefly. But there is little time to waste. I love you. She leaves the square before you can manage a reply. You leave as well. The resembled gendarmes in garrison battalions soon retake the chancellery and most of the central district. The hell? Sorry. Alright, I'm facing a bit of a tired spell. But I think we're almost done, right? Everyone died a true death. So order is falling, and the wealth is also falling. The last straw's riot. Unrest 9 or 10. Sophia grown close, and Felipe Alfaro saw your loyalty did not do that. He's in fact actually dead. End of chapter 4. Peacetime. Well then. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Alright. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this chapter. We're gonna watch the cinematic and then we are going to end here.
The day has come which would decide my fate, as well as that of my family, and perhaps the entire empire. The day of the revolt.
The day of the revolt. Here we are. The revolt begins. Conditions met. The last straw's riot. Well, I mean, and so the revolt has begun. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for hanging out with me, Aquatico9, for the second time today. Pachi Pachi or something like that. I think that's what the funny VTubers say. Ooh, I pushed through. Did you see that? I fucking pushed through. I pushed through. Yo, when I got like fucking like when I closed my eyes at like 2 o'clock, which was an hour 47 minutes ago for me, in case you're watching the VOD, like an hour into the stream, and I like closed my eyes and I couldn't reopen them because I was so tired. I thought it was Jover. But we got through it. We got through chapter 4 and we are finally at the revolt that we had always been waiting for. It's time. It's time to rise up against the people. Time to rise up against the nobles and show them where we will never be oppressed, not ever. Oh man. All right, fellas. I don't know how long the revolt is gonna be, but hopefully next stream we will be able to end it off there and just round off the life and suffering of Sir Brante in the times of the blessed Archnean Empire. I think that's how it goes. But yeah, it's been a long ride, I tell you. Even Elden Ring wasn't this long, but then again, I did a lot of shit off screen. Ooh. 2 back-to-back 3-hour streams. To be honest, in my prime time, I could do 7 hours straight. But, not 4 o'clock in the morning. All right. That's enough. That's enough wasting your time. So, I'll let you off here. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you soon. Now I have a legitimate reason for not actually streaming, and in that I'm working on something for us, both you and me. So stay tuned in the months to come as I take on a task that I have 0 qualifications for. I don't know how to draw, but yet I've bought a drawing tablet and I've finished an illustration. Ooh boy, ooh, I wonder what kind of illustration work takes months to complete. Ooh. Anyways, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.